Hey guys, good morning. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've been up to this week with gardening. Actually, over the past few days since it's gotten warm, we're out of the frost zone. It's going to be 60s during the night from here on out. Actually extra warm for this time of year. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more precautions as well going forward. But here's a little look at what I've been up to the last few days. So another step in the process is putting down our landscaping fabric so that we can move gravel in. And we have our tomatoes planted already. We did this yesterday. So we have lots of stuff going on. And then we're gonna have to do something about keeping the dogs out of here because they're already walking through my dirt and getting dirt all in the path, which is no bueno. So, yep. Update coming. Hopefully we can get gravel in this weekend or the first of next week and go from there. This is my cucumber trellis that I did this year. In one of my other videos, you can see I did cattle panels in a whole entire overlap. So there's a canopy and everything. And then we are putting cucumbers in the middle. And we are putting pepper plants on the outside. And pepper plants do okay in shade. So if this by the summer gets up and shades these peppers out, they will actually be fine because there will be so much warmth and light still coming through from the side. But we have a lot going on here. We have 14 cucumbers in each of these two beds. So that's 28 cucumbers over here, which is a lot of cucumbers. It's way too many, but I'd rather have way too many than not enough. And I feed all my excess cucumbers and things like that to the chickens. So if they get too big, they just go to feed animals, and that is fine with me. It cuts back on feed prices. So we have sweet peppers in this bed, and then we have hot peppers in that bed over there. And I think I have, there are 6 of each variety of pepper, except for cayenne, there's 3, and Tabasco, there's 3 because they're prolific, and that will be plenty. And there's 3 banana peppers and 3 of this new pepper that I'm trying this year. That's a sweet pepper. Then we just have our regular California Wonder. We have mini bells, which are little bitty bell peppers that are really awesome. I loved them the last few times I've had them. Then there is the lipstick pepper, which I really, really love. It's like a snack pepper that you would buy at the store. It's red. And then we have, of course, our Tabascos and cayennes and Fresno peppers, which is, I want to make fermented sriracha, so I got the peppers that are used in that. And then we have jalapenos over there, the grande jalapenos. And then we have the Chinese 5-color pepper, which I just love. They just look so beautiful. If you've never grown those, they are so gorgeous. They look so good. So that's what we're doing today, is putting the rest of these plants in. And hey, Boomer, is that you making all that mess over there? And then I'm gonna walk over here. Hey, kitty cat. We put tomatoes in these beds. So this has got tomatoes in it. And there are 7 of each one of these as well. And I'm not even done planting. I still have to put all of these squashes out, girls. But I made signs this year. So all of my tomatoes, actually, I did this a few years ago and I've just been using it ever since. It's my little metal signs that I hang up and put on my things so I don't forget where they are. And those little plastic tabs that go in the ground, they get lost. These are tomatillos, the purple ones. There's a whole bunch of calendula. Then we have more over here. We have the black cherry. And I only put on cherry tomatoes, I only did 4 because you don't prune them back as much as you do your other ones. And then we have the blush tiger. We have an onion patch over here that are getting bulbs on them. I put spaghetti squash on this trellis. So we have our little spaghetti squash sign. There's leeks right here. And then this is this climbing zucchini. It actually has got like a hard shell on the outside of it. so it actually will last a really long time on the counter. There are tomatoes hidden down in with these cabbages collards, because these collards are going to be gone soon. And then we are going to pull those up. And these are my crookneck squash. I've got to find something to put my sign on. We have more cucumbers over here, and these are the muncher variety of cucumbers. And so that's just a little bit different variety. These are spoon tomatoes, and they just come up every year on their own. So once these come through, I'll move them up against this little trellis right here that I made. These are Supernova grape tomatoes, and these are going to be Rutgers tomatoes. And then over here, haven't got a lot of this planted yet. I'm going to do lima beans, Christmas lima beans on that trellis. And this one has the hardy kiwis, and this is the red curry squash. So it's just another squash that I'm going to pin to that. And then we have some Ford Hook zucchini over here. I stuck 4 of them in here just to kind of continue to make this bed full. These oreganos take over, so pretty much this is an oregano bed. And then we have our onion patch over here. This is an onion. Every kind of onion. There are Egyptian walking onions, and then there are just bunching onions. And so they're all going to seed this year. Lots of them are. I've got some smaller ones that I had moved to, and I interplanted them with my tomatoes over there. And then we have my medical herb bed that I started with like 5 years ago, and I would really like to move all of this out to its own little place. These are echinacea. This is pleurisy root, which is called butterfly weed. And then there's some random chamomile in here, which, you know, it's everywhere. There's a carrot growing in this one. This is my carrot bed / sweet potato bed. This is where I do all of those because it's deep. And then we have some weeds. I'm gonna grow Malabar spinach on this little trellis right here. I've just got to get some more dirt and put it in here. And then we have chamomile scattered out throughout this. We have strawberries over on the corner. Let me walk over here. We have some strawberries that are actually, I saw them yesterday, that look like they were ready to eat. But these are my strawberry beds. And this one used to have strawberries in it, and so did that one. But this one is very lacking in strawberries because the chickens got into these two and wreaked havoc on it. But I see some red coming in. There's one. And I see some over there that are already ready to pick. So I'll come through here and pick out the ones that I can today. But we got berries all down in there. And it's beautiful. This is a beautiful strawberry bed. I can't even see in it. It's so thick. But there are little red strawberries down in there coming on. I kind of like them when they're thicker like this because the birds do not get to them. So that really, really helps. But there's my onions that I interplanted with my tomatoes. We'll see how they do this year. These are all new spots for things. I decided to rearrange everything this year and just do what I was going to do. And then I've got to get these beautiful mullein plants in the ground somewhere. But I want to make a little section for just the mullein to grow, and so that it can be weeded around. And I have lots and lots of, there's more. These are all the raspberries that I didn't get to plant. I have rows of them out there. Still not finished with that. Still working on that. It's like I go, let me go finish this, and then I get sidetracked and do something totally different. So right now they're standing up pretty good, so I think they're okay without the cables on the side. But if we have to, we can stick up a little cattle panel piece about halfway up it and roll with it like that. These are all the plants that I still have left over from seed starting, and this is just the peppers. So there are lots more inside. That's in order. There's some tomatoes right there. This is the Malabar spinach, and it's a climbing spinach, and it does really well with hot weather and everything. And it's called a perennial spinach, so it's supposed to come back year after year. It'll seed and drop the seeds and then come back. And then my greenhouse, of course, guys. is still, these are cucumbers, more chamomile. All of this is tomatoes. All of these are squash and cucumbers down here as well, and more tomatoes. There's some peppers back here and some melons, lots of basils, more tomatoes, more tomatoes. So yeah, I need these things gone. But that's just a little bit of what I've been up to this past week, and it is very busy, very, very busy here with planting. I even have roselle that I've got to get in the ground as well. And my moringa trees are looking really good. This one's really big. These are really fast growing trees. They are, you know, subtropical, so they really need warmth. So you have to put them in a pot if you live in a colder climate. I will have to, even in central Alabama, bring it in the winter. But it is supposed to be fully mature by 9 months. And then my cottage garden, there's some more oregano over here. My cottage garden is like a lot of weeds, but I have these beautiful clematis coming in, and I mean, look at that. This is one of my favorite flowers. They're just gorgeous climbing flowers, and I just love them. And we have yarrow and chamomile and everything just scattered throughout here. There's supposed to be sunflowers and zinnias and all that planted out through there. And there is a lot of weeds as well, but I kind of need my flowers to pop up so that I'll know how to weed around them. And there is Queen Anne's lace all in there. I had one little plant that was out there in the field, and it blew seeds everywhere in my garden. And this year I got Queen Anne's lace everywhere. I mean, I'm just gonna walk out here. This is just the grassy part that we cut, and there's a Queen Anne's lace, there's a Queen Anne's lace, there's a Queen Anne's lace, and they're scattered all through this entire area, along with all my rogue turnip greens. Once you plant turnip greens and they go to seed, your yard will be turnip greens. So you don't even have to really try to plant them. Get out of there, girl. Get out. And then we're gonna come back and plant melons on this year, because I'm doing cantaloupes and little baby watermelons. So I'm gonna vine them up this, and then I'm just gonna tie them up with some nets and catch them so they won't be on the ground. So I gotta come in here and do some work. I really need some more dirt in here and to weed it, but we'll see how that goes. I plan on taking this down next year and doing something different, so I really don't want to put dirt in it, even though it needs some. The level has dropped immensely. It never was full all the way to the top, but I have these dang rosemary plants that I bought that were actually labeled as lavender, and so I just grabbed them, not really paying attention, and planted them in my beds, which they are doing wonderful. But yeah, I need to move these or get a bunch of sprigs off of them and get them some new starts going. But yeah, this is kind of what we got going on. So we will update again, and here's all my signs out here just so you can see them. We have a few going down the side, and this just helps me remember what is what. I've got them hanging on all of the sections when it transitions into something, so that I will know that from this pole to that pole is a Goldie tomato, and on and so forth. Then we have, sorry, I said I was ending. Then we have beans that are going out here. So we're gonna have green beans. Well, they're Cherokee beans, and then my zucchini and my other squash is going in the beds. I've got to get rid of these ants that are out here. They're everywhere. It's one of the downfalls of living in warm climates is you have a lot of ants, and they will get into everything. That's why we cannot use mulch in between our beds, because it would just be big ant piles, and that is awful. And then I have zinnias coming up everywhere from seeding last year, and the beans that are trying to come up from last year that I'm going to pull because I'm doing a different kind of bean this year. I did the Blue Lake pole beans for years and years, and so they're always coming back up here. And then I put some more raised beds out here for the tea garden. That's just lemon balm growing. And then we will fill these other beds in. My 2 chamomile beds are over here. And they are looking great. But I'm gonna come harvest some of this today because I don't wanna lose all these flowers. They look beautiful. And I love the sound of picking a flower. Listen to this. I just love that sound. It's the most satisfying sound in the world. I don't know why. Pop, pop, pop. And we have zinnias galore over here. And these are those salmon colored. They're kind of an orangey peach color, but I gotta dig a bunch of these up and move them because that's gonna be too many for right here, and I need this space. And then we have a huge anthill right here that I'm gonna go get some borax and sugar and mix it together and make me some bait out of that to go ahead and kill them, which is so that I don't have chemicals out here. All right, guys, well, I'll touch base with you guys later. I hope that you enjoyed this little brief walkthrough, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day.